I wanted to do a video to talk a little bit about definitely the last week or so that I've been going through and the energy that I think everybody's feeling in different ways. And so really what I want to share with you is kind of this conclusion of what to do when we feel like everything feels untrue. So what's actually happening and what's going on? Well, for the last week, for like at least the last week, I think we all have been feeling this disparate types of emotions and feelings. So we're like getting hit with these waves of things that are making us feel like, why are we revisiting, traumas? Why are we revisiting certain difficulties in relationships? Why are things coming up that may not have to do with the person we're sitting across from? So they're older kind of emotions and feelings and situations, or they're being played out in front of us yet again, which is what I encountered. And a lot of that was, man, that full moon last week has just gotten everybody just kind of shuffled up and wrecked, at least everybody I knew. And for me, I was going back through revisiting really toxic and abusive relationships, emotional manipulation, and it was playing out in my workplace again, not in my personal life. And it was interesting because it was just completely unexpected. I was having very, very low energy last week. I was integrating a lot of new information and energetic feelings and things of that sort. And then, bam, I got hit with just this revisiting this emotional state and realizing how much I don't like to work for somebody who works all the time. But what I mean by that is putting myself into things I'm not passionate about. And so it was pushing me to revisit and to reshuffle how I'm even doing work yet again. And that's only been a couple of weeks that I've even been examining those aspects of how I work. So it was very interesting to kind of be going through that. And then I had an experience over the weekend where, again, I was having new energy coming through, and I was really left basically from all of the week and my experience this weekend feeling completely and utterly deconstructed. Like, I wasn't even sure for the last 2 days I was going to be able to put myself back together. And it wasn't in the sense of feeling emotionally broken or mentally broken like I have in the past, like when you've gone through really, really hard trauma work, or you're sitting in grief and you feel like, I don't even know what to do with this next. Where are we going? How do I feel? I just felt utterly deconstructed and in a process of being reassembled. And in the process of being reassembled was left with this feeling of everything feels untrue. And the only thing that feels true is the organic stuff. Organic relationships, organic conversations, organic matter. Like, here's the funny situation I came to before we talk about why I believe we're all feeling these pockets of feeling untrue. I felt the best outside in nature. The fresh air, the stars, the sun, the sky, the animals, the birds, the grass, the plants, the flowers, just all of that organic ecosystem felt so true. I felt alive, I felt safe, I felt myself, and I felt like I could connect so easily, which is true. We know this. We know that sitting in nature and being part of that system allows us to reconnect in a faster way. And then I left that space and I came back into a home space, and everything began to feel untrue. And I was so unsettled. I felt like food was poison. I felt like, which was its own thing, right? Like, if I'm not putting organic food in, then it was feeling like poison. But sitting in a chair, sitting in a room in the dark where I didn't have a window or light, like all of a sudden everything became untrue. And my reflection upon that has been this. Looking back at the concept of the organic, like, we need to be in more organic flow. How we work needs to be an organic flow. Like, how do you personally work? One of my friends and colleagues, even this week, last week, kind of enlightened me in a way I'd never thought of, in talking about, if you try to align yourself to the way an earth sign works, and you're not an earth sign, then that's part of why you're having a lot of problems. And I didn't even know I needed to be freed from that, because I've often understood how my flow works when I'm in it as a Leo, like as a fire sign. Like I have 4 or 5 days of intense just work, and I create stuff that would take more than a month for anybody else. And then I need to go rest and play and recharge for about a week. But that's a really beautiful flow. But I've often ignored it because it didn't feel consistent. It didn't feel, it met the mark of everybody else's, routine, or even how I needed to show up and be present in the different teams that I'm part of and collaboration projects, and etc. So even that was like an awareness of, oh, that's that other level of something I was missing, right? So becoming more aware of these things is really important. It needs to be an organic flow, but even organic in the sense of how we're doing relationships and conversations and when we engage and how we do that, and not forcing things and not building illusions. There's so many illusions that are still in a constant state of falling right now. And so I think that's the other thing that we're all encountering right now, is just the illusions being shredded and just moved away like smoke, just blowing it away. And then we're left with that feeling of, well, wait a minute, what is true? But really, what is true? So the other reason I think that's happening is because of the energy and the intensity that we're feeling right now, the energy that's running through the 9-9 portal gateway, but also just the intense energies I believe that we will continue to feel throughout September, is that we have another burst of energy coming our way that is really pushing people to awaken and to remember who they are. And if this is not language that you're used to or comfortable with, just think about the fact of remembering and recalling parts of who you are. And this happens to you right now, whether you're aware of it or not, and you're suddenly aware that there are parts of you that you kind of remember as a faded memory or a dream, or things that seem like, I don't know why I really know this thing, but I kind of do, but I don't really know, like, what is that talking, and do I sound like I'm totally bananas if I talk about it, or, is this coming from a place of ego? And so like you're on the right path if you're asking yourself these questions. We all have done so and still do. But what I believe is happening, though, the more activations are happening, the more the energy is coming in and stimulating, and these recalls, and that we're remembering who we are, and we're remembering our talents and gifts, and we're remembering why we're here on this planet right now and what our mission is towards the evolution of humanity, that leaves you feeling a little unsettled. It leaves you feeling a little untrue. And so as we're going through our reconstruction process and deconstruction, this, and then reassembling all of those parts, just know that you're going to feel like things are untrue. So I think the best approach for us to do when we get there is, obviously we have to pull back a little bit. So whether you're doing this in meditation, and if your meditation looks like a walk in the woods, that's beautiful. Like, meditation does not have to be just sitting in a darkened room, meditating to music or not, or going through any particular type of a guided visualization. Like, there are many ways that one can meditate. And so find what works for you. Do not discount meditation because your perception is it can only look this one way. And that was something I did for a really long time, until a couple of years ago. And I found that there are so many ways to meditate that work for me. Meditation is really about going within and listening to the inner voice, to what your heart is telling you is true, and listening to, from that spiritual connection, what you need to know. Meditation can happen beautifully in the woods. In fact, I think that was why I felt so untrue leaving nature this time, is because I really was understanding and sensing that the deep connection of nature, how nature works with us, and that we've just forgotten that over millennia, that we stopped working with nature, and how nature works with us. Like, we were a part of that ecosystem. We were part of, as collaborators and co-creators. And so we need to go back to that. And I've been having the remembering of this. And as I am remembering this back into myself, I don't like being indoors. Like, I feel trapped like a caged animal. So I'm working through my untrueness right now, okay? So again, go into like a meditation, go into walking in nature, like find your place to be quiet, that you can create a sacred space for yourself to ask the questions. Am I feeling things that are untrue because there's an illusion that's present? Is there something happening with this other person that I need to deal with and resolve? Meaning it's probably me. If you're having an issue with a person right now, the first person to check with is yourself. What am I doing? What's my part in this? Is there a lesson I'm learning? Is there something I'm contributing to this? Do I need to heal something that's, in other words, is that person being a mirror for me in some way? Ask yourself these questions. And then as you work through that and you kind of understand your baseline, if you're healing something, if there's an illusion that you're removing, ask yourself if you're actually remembering and recalling information, and then continue to work from there. But don't resist it. I think the one thing that I have found the most in the last couple of months is the more I try to figure things out and really use my brain to do so, I slow down the integration process. I slow it down. So there's something to be said for needing to sit and to meditate and just ask and to seek and to be quiet. But when you start over-engaging your brain to over-rationalize and to try to figure everything out like it has to fit in a perfect algorithm, you've effectively cut off your flow from the spiritual realm, and you're back in your brain and your ego self trying to work it out. So there's a balance again between that and using the technology of your mind, but it has to come from a spiritual practice place so that there is an actual flow that you can then hear clearly and then process. So I feel like I've definitely been on the ramble and the rant. I'm gonna wrap this up, but I just wanted to let you know that you're not alone if you feel like everything's untrue right now. And if you're going through that, and because we are cycling so incredibly rapidly right now, it's incredibly fast, and we're learning and we're releasing, and then we're integrating, and we're learning something new, we're releasing and integrating. And for me, this is happening almost hourly. Okay, and it has been for more than a month. I've just been almost at an hourly rate of just, it's just constant. It's constant. Some people are at a slightly slower rate because maybe they're not even aware that it's happening, or they're in a different part of their journey. Where I'm at in my journey, it's just boom, 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 boom. It's a constant thing. And so my ability to manage it and handle it is very different, but I just really want to say that you're not alone. If things feel untrue right now and you have been completely deconstructed and you're figuring out how in the world am I going to put myself back together, we're all here. You can do it. Universe is supporting you. You are surrounded in love and light. Find the place you need to be surrounded in love and light if you don't feel as though you are. And obviously I'm here to help you work through those things if you would like that. You can find out more in the link below this video here with how to get in touch with me and the type of work that I do. There are many, many wonderful people out there that you can connect with that can help you based on where you are in your journey. Just find the circle of people that you need that can help provide the support that you're looking for. So I will see you next time. Have a great day.